com.
There's an entire industry to help us be better leaders. There's an entire industry to help us be better parents. There's an entire industry to help us eat better, exercise better, sleep better. And yet, there's barely anything on how to be a friend. And if you think about all the mental health challenges that so many of us are facing today, whether it's coping with stress, depression, anxiety, addiction, even obsession with longevity, friendship is the ultimate biohack that literally fixes all those things, which starts to give evidence that if we have close friendships and if we live in community, perhaps we're less susceptible to all addiction. And I know that there's a lot being talked about the addiction of social media, the addiction of cell phones, which is true, which is true. It is a highly dopamine-producing device, and that it's causing loneliness. And I would argue that if we worked on the friendships, and more important, if we taught our children how to be friends, that perhaps they are less likely to get addicted. And
I know it seems like it's just going to happen, but we have to work on it. When are we having this dinner? We have a song that we sing, which is called "Are You Ready for the Question?" And we sing it maybe like the fourth or fifth night of every hangout.
In the restaurant, you're at that table?
Yeah, we sing it. We sing it. Are you ready for the question? Are you ready for the question? And then we ask ourselves a question that we've been struggling with, because you realize sometimes you can even become a superhero to your own friend group, and then you stop releasing or letting go or digging in or scraping away. And you'll find your friend will be sitting next to you laughing and going through the worst depression they've ever been through in their lives, until you say, hey, is everything okay? What are you struggling with? And then they open up and you go, why didn't you tell me? They go, because I didn't want to burden you. I love you as my friend. And so that's what I try to do more than anything in the world. That's my greatest joy.
That's such a common misunderstanding, Rich. I didn't want to burden you. I didn't want to bother you with my problems. And I think people don't realize that we don't build trust by offering help. We build trust by asking for it. And
whoa, say that again.
We don't build trust by offering help. We build trust by asking for it.
Damn.
And
why is that?
Because it's your example. And I'm sure everyone in this room has had this experience where someone was in pain, didn't call you for fear of bothering you or interrupting you. You're a busy person. And then you find out once they're okay. And again, I'll just speak from personal experience. A friend of mine went through something. He wasn't completely out of it, but he was doing better. And I'm like, haven't talked in a couple of weeks. And he sort of like slowly started to say, I've been struggling. And I said, why didn't you call me? He says, I didn't want to bother you. And my immediate reaction was, you asshole. How dare you be so selfish to deny me the honor of being there for you in your time of need.
Showing up for you.
And that's what it is. It's the incredible, that's when you know a friend is a friend, when it is an absolute honor to be there at the time they least want to call.
We all have to work on. And one other thing that I've realized in talking to people, just anecdotally, and then therapists who are really good studying in this space, is I think we shouldn't take for granted how much the abandoning or the ignoring of friendships has affected romantic relationships, because people have now shifted all of the expectation, all of the support, all of the the love that they got from a community of friends, and they've moved it on to one person. And a lot of I think there's a few studies that have actually shown even having a friend where you can talk shit about your partner too, which is healthy, by the way, actually improves your chances of staying with your partner.
Oof, I'm having an insight here. This is thank you for being the truffle pig and uncovering this magical little insight that the same thing is happening at work is happening in our relationships. So it used to be where we sort of had bowling leagues and we got our community from there. We got our sense of belief from church. Work was the place we made our living. We had barbecues with our neighbors. And over time, those things have disappeared. And now we demand of our work that you be the place of purpose. You be the place of community. You be the place of my social life. Now you be the place that matches my politics. We're putting all this pressure on work to fulfill every desire I have. And we're doing the exact same thing in our relationships, which is we seem to abandon those outside places, and we're asking of our partners to be everything all the time, always, which is an unreasonable and unfair standard to put on someone or be put on us.
When we have painful past experiences and we remember them, but we're in a present relationship that responds differently. Shame I would feel with certain people or my father is when I messed up, is imperfect, I would feel him withdrawing, his judgment. But I have now friends that when that happens, they draw close. That begins to delete and replace those past experiences. And that is God building in neurological grace. And so we need to experience that more from other people and in a different experience so that we can heal and grow. And that's why God gave us a new family. That's why the church, the two major metaphors of family and body, is supposed to be focused around new relationships. So I get new relationships that delete some of this old grace. I need to read this, so I got to put my glasses on, just in summary, and then I want to show you a video. This is what makes the gospel so compelling. We invite people into a family where they are loved, good, bad, and ugly. A love unlike anything the world can offer, rooted in a personal God and lived out through his people. For those already following Christ, the other side of grace is what fuels real discipleship. Growing in faith is not about collecting more biblical facts or trying to become sinless. It's about repeatedly experiencing this transforming love from God and from one another. And then we learn how we can show that love to other people. And that's what discipleship is learning how to love others better with the bad stuff.
Welcome to our latest episode of NeuroSpark. You've just listened to several clips from Simon Sinek and Scott discussing the significance of friendships. I just want to add some final thoughts. Friendship offers a vital sense of belonging. It begins community. It provides a safe space for us to be vulnerable, gaining trust, confidence that shared thoughts will be held in private, free from judgment or attempts to fix. Simon Sinek suggests trust is built not by offering help, but by having the courage to ask for it. Emotional support. Another key significance of friendship is emotional support. My friend will provide compassion and empathy. This involves actively listening, being present, tuning in to listening to my needs, and when I ask for help, he's there. It provides encouragement. Isn't it the best feeling to have someone cheer you on when you're in the arena of life? Look at the positive power of stadiums filled with people cheering on their favorite team. They always say home team advantage. Good friends make us better. They cheer us on when we hit bottom and keep us humble when we reach the top. Another Simon Sinek quote. I like the mutuality of friendship. True friendships are characterized by a balance of power, where both individuals feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings. Communication in these relationships is a two-way street requiring both the ability to express oneself and the willingness to listen actively. Respecting personal boundaries means allowing yourself and others the freedom to be authentic and to make individual choices. Here's a delicate balance. When do you give grace and when do you speak the truth? When a friend confides a mistake, we often face a choice: offer immediate truth or prioritize grace. While the urges to correct is strong, empathy suggests grace is more effective. If your friend confesses a misstep, they likely need understanding and compassion. not reminders of how they screwed up. And that's where grace can provide kindness, forgiveness, and a safe, non-judgmental space, allowing us to be free of the fear of immediate retribution. I feel safe. Patience with truth doesn't abandon it. Instead, it recognizes that truth is best received when defenses are down and the individual feels supported. After grace builds this foundation, maybe there'll be time to explore the truth, the consequences, and talk about solutions that can lead to genuine growth and a deeper connection beyond the superficial acknowledgement of error. And here is personally one of the things that has helped me through friendships over the year. It leads to personal growth. I'm a better person today because of the friendships that I've acquired over the years. They support me, they love me, they encourage me, and they do a pretty good job of the grace and truth. These benefits positively influence our physical and mental health and ultimately lead to happier, more fulfilling lives. By allowing ourselves friendships, by seeking friendships, we open up possibilities far beyond our wildest dreams. Think back over the years of the friends that you've had and some of the beautiful memories that were created in those times. And without those friends, the memories that were not created. Hey, we welcome our listeners to check out more on www.makeininstitute.com. You can also find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for listening and have a great week.